Alright. Let me just get the code. I think Eric is first. Or May 98. Yeah, Eric is first. So we're going to be looking at Busan. No, yeah, let's do that. And this is a rank review, I believe. Which is a little weird because not all maps in Busan. I guess you can play Ryan in all of them. He's just not the best in all of them. What are you guys playing? Okay, we'll see how this goes, but here's my guess. You are going to do mini dives, your Ryan is going to hold the front line by himself, and Sanyo is going to try to help on the front line and go deep. It's just a weird comp, but let's see how it works. Ryan's of course very difficult to dive, so at least you got that going for you. And the enemy is playing Neo Goats. Good job from Haksha, Karsu does die, and this should not be the one that's on the new, that is on the enemy backline. You should be annoying their tanks like when they dive you. You're basically the counter dive aspect of your team. You should be like here and here. Alright. If you're gonna play this type of comp where basically you got a dive core and a brawl core, you should be the one distracting their tanks. That said, it's gonna be really difficult to judge exactly what you are gonna do in this weird comp. Good pin, but it's just a lost fight. Like, maybe not, but I feel like this fight is lost. Yeah. We just got no DPS left to contest 30 DPS. Mr. Pin, we do have the point, even though we lose more people, we do have the point. But yeah, they just kill you. And you've got to go really aggressive into the front line when you're playing this. You can't hard shield because, like, the biggest problem with this is that hard shielding with Ryan does nothing. Quite literally, everyone in the enemy team can get around it. So it is only you blocking one person's damage while you got a Tracer, a Sombra, a Diva. Like, look at you right now. You got, like, Diva on one side, Moira on the other. Tracer went away, but Tracer goes out to have shot you from here. Monkey behind you. Just, I hope you can see that. It's not even Lucio is like, hey, 3 damage. You're just Sombra as well. You're just surrounded. You can only block one direction, and that's it. And you just get killed. Even though we take first cap, we of course are gonna lose the fight. Okay. We'll see how this continues. I haven't seen big things because it's mostly just your composition that's a very, very weird, rather than no, you making mistakes. Like, yeah, you should have strung other tanks. Yeah, you should have not hard shielded, just go more aggressive, but those are very particular for this composition. You get hacked. That's one we can work on. Like, if you hear the hacking, just flash your shield, because now you're just dead. If you hear the hacking noise, just flash your shield. Like, yeah, you don't know where Sombra is, but just flash your shield around a little bit and you'll be fine. Unless she's literally behind you, which I don't think she is, she's just here. Just when you start hearing the hacking noise, so now, just flash your shield to your left, because she's clearly not on your right as well. But you just flash your shield to your left and stop it. And you can interrupt that swing with a shield too. Do you get pulse bombs? No. So I guess that's the first, like, personal mistake you made. It's still not a huge mistake, but if you get hacked, you're just dead. As trying into this. Into Neo Goats. Now you got McCree. So we are going back a little towards Brawl. And you can play Tracer Brawl into dive, just your Tracer has to do their Tracer. You basically play 5-5. Good kill. Free shatter, just shatter them, just shatter them. Okay, I don't know why you looked at the... Oh no. Okay. Well, EMP bomb is really good. I still think you should have just shattered right away. Because you have the chance. Like, Monkey doesn't have time to jump in and bubble. in the time it takes for the shutter to travel. You should have just shuttered here. Like, just land and shutter. Just shutter this, right? Instead, you look for the monkey, and then you turn around to shutter. Which is not a bad shutter, it's just that you could have stopped them from bombing. And that would have been best. Just win the fight early. Do we have 5 strike? No, okay. I was gonna say you should have 5 strike the Moira as well. But you just didn't have it, and she manages to get up just in time, and you've got no follow up, so. I will repeat this though, in case you guys are now in chat. This is one of the weirdest comps you guys have tried. Don't do this. Again, Ryan is really good at holding one direction. If you give them that direction, they will just pump a lot of damage into you, which is what just happened. You go forward. Tracer is not something you want to chase. In fact, that's a big thing. They've got nothing you want to chase. So you just want to basically distract their front line while they die. Good pin. Harrison D.Va is okay here because we were so low and it was only D.Va. Good kill. But yeah, basically your role in this comp is I'm gonna fuck up the front line. And they're gonna fuck me up too, but at least I am gonna fuck up the front line too. So I'm trading 1 for 1 and they just don't have as much distraction for my team. My guess is you guys were like, let's play Nia Ghost but with Ryan. And then also went Doomfist because Nia Ghost, right? Any die character is good, which is not the case. Doomfist doesn't do enough damage. Whereas Echo has a lot of damage, Sombra is really good. She's got damage and enabling, Reaper is really good. Like, Sombra actually does more damage than Doomfist over time, right? So. And then Vine's like, you need a D.Va to play this. She just provides so many options. Special comp we tried before with different DPS. DPS, I don't like the DPS choice, and I still don't really like Ryan Monkey, but definitely not with Tracer Doomfist as well. Last time you played this, what you're playing now, which makes a little more sense because with McCree, instead of Doomfist, at least you can do damage with the Brawl Core. And you basically got like a Dive Core and a Brawl Core, but it's just not that good. There's no reason not to be playing D.Va instead of Monkey, and you play the Dive Core with D.Va. Basically, because Monkey just requires so... Like, these are the 2 tanks that require the most resources in the game. If you're not healing Monkey or helping Monkey, if you're not healing Ryan or helping Ryan, they die, right? They need resources. They are the type of tank that require a lot of resources. And I'll be honest, I just don't think there are enough resources in the game to make up for these 2 tanks together. Maybe if you want like Ana Moira or Ana Bab, but then you lose speed, so your Ryan's just standing there, chunking around. They do not have it. But you should be watching out for D.Va Bomb BMP. Because that's what they did last time. So don't rely on your shield when you're playing against D.Va Bomb BMP. So you got touch, decent pin actually, just shatter. I'm fine with that shatter, you actually cancel coalescence. Good kill on the Moira. We killed them before they kill us. That's not how this works. You actually don't have enough damage to kill them before you kill you. Like, Monkey does no damage, right? I think we won that fight because you shattered the coalescing Moira, so good job. But again, this is just a weird comp, and you are not really doing your job, which is just distract the main tanks a lot, like the Monkey, so your team doesn't have to worry about that space. But that's probably because you've never played this type of comp before into this. Now it makes a little more sense, I would say that. Wrecking Ball requires less resources, almost no resources. And with Karsu, both of you can play dive core, and you've got a brawl core, right? Now it makes a lot more sense. So I like this. Just with the swap from Monkey to Wrecking Ball, I like this comp a lot better. Because now your Vine can just go aggressive and have the resources to go aggressive, and your Wrecking Ball and Tracer can dive something and get value. So now, again, looking at this, what is your role in this comp? Just find whatever they're diving, right? Find a stationary target like Monkey after Leap, Diva after Boosters, speed at them, do a ton of damage, and that's it. And if they're diving something, you need to be between them and whatever they're diving so that they've had to go through you first. Like, this is a bad position, right? Because again, your goal is not denying the choke. They are not going to play the choke. They're going to try to dive in or just rush at something. So you should be like here. In case they want to go to Sino, you can just stop them. They want to go to Mer, you're right there, and Mer just takes a step back, right? Your job in this comp is not go aggressive stand on the choke, because they are not going to be playing the choke. They are just going to speed past the choke. Or jump past the choke. So the general idea is, you don't do this, you play here. Or like if Mer is here and Chris here, you can play here, right? It's just putting yourself between you and whatever they want to dive. In this case, if they want to go here, you can be here and go that way, and like we can take a step back, and you are there to stop them. If they want to go for Mer, Mer just takes a step back, and you're already here. Something like that. Right? Like exactly this. They are just going for your McCree, and you are too far away to stop them. They actually don't quite manage to get in there, which is really good. They fuck up their dive. So you end up getting there in time. But yeah, that was a really good illustration of, yeah, this is what's going to happen. They are just going to play around you if you play too far forward. Somehow you don't get hacked, which is really good for you actually. You got a good pin. And you will realize that now that Mer can just hold her healing on you, you are surviving for a lot longer and can go a lot more aggressive, because now Monkey isn't taking up like half of your resources. So this comp works a lot better just because of that. Don't shatter the bubble though. You threw it all away. All of your hard work. This is still viable though. Even though, yeah, you should have shattered more people. You called break bubble. I get that, but you need to make sure the bubble is actually broken. Yeah, your McCree was dead. I think Karsu was dead too. I think both your DPS. I can go back and check, actually. So Karsu's coming back. Sanyos is dead. Yeah. And Haksha is like not enough to break it. And Mer does no damage, so it was quite literally only you. Okay. I guess we can put on this, like, forget about that shatter into the bubble, that's not a problem. On this map, we can look at understanding your role in the comp, especially into their comp. It's very difficult to quantify, but I think that's it. Like, make sure you are playing further forward than your support, so the enemy team has to go through you to get to your supports or their McCree or whatever you want to. And you want to be right there when they dive in. So if your McCree is here and you are here, you need to cover all of this. That's not very good. They fucked up. They did like this, and it gave you time to come back. But if they had just gone forward, right, speed, jump in, you would have been too far away to help. So I guess that's what we can take away from this. If you're playing a weird type of comp, that's fine, kind of. Like this comp is fine. This 6, I'm okay with this 6, okay? I'm not okay with the Ryan Monkey. They both just require too many resources. But I'm okay with these 6. However, you've got to understand your role. Your role is, I need to stop their tanks from diving anything. Yeah, you can't control their DPS. You are never going to control their DPS, because they are just very mobile and you are never going to reach them. But the tanks commit their cooldowns, right? Monkey jumps in, and when Monkey is in, you can go and swing at Monkey for like 6 seconds. Same with Diva. It's only 4 seconds, but you can swing at Diva and force her away. So understanding your role within the comp would definitely be the one thing you should take away from this. Do you guys just play this weird mix the entire game? classic comp with Sombra instead of Mei, but it's fine. Go forward, don't forget about your team. You are just a little too far forward. Just a little too far forward. You're very likely to die here. Really quick kills from Haksha. Yeah, but you do die. It may still be a winnable fight, but honestly, you just went too far forward. Like, the fact that your team is not here to help you means that you just used a lot of resources. And it's not that much. Like, if you had waited 1 second, your team would be with you. You just went a little too early because you have pin, and they do not. So this small distance of like 1 second is enough for them to actually, well, fuck you up. Because you get punched and no one can help you avoid any damage or kill you back up immediately. Then you get pressured by their Rhine, and your whole team is like, we need to keep the Rhine alive, and we throw all of our resources at you. Too long, don't read, just don't. I'm okay with the pin, just wait 1 second after the pin. You don't need more than that. And we lose at this point. Maybe we don't lose at this point? Oh, the Rhine just goes over aggressive. Okay. Good. So it's winnable, I think. I don't think it's won. It's winnable. Okay, not winnable anymore. Just get out. Just get out. Just get out. But hopefully you can see how just 1 second can make that much difference. Because I think you played pretty well other than that. You went forward when you had to cover, swung, fast track. It's just that 1 second where your team couldn't help you caused so many resources lost. Are we ready? We should go. Are we waiting for someone? Oh, we're waiting maybe for that. For someone to set up. You go aggressive. This is actually really good. Like, the fact that you guys go really aggressive. Hello, window is useless. Propaganda is useless. Good shatter too. You just swing and follow up, and we just win this. Good. Decent fire strike too, and we just win this. Really like that. You just went very aggressive and deleted them. Good pin. Go back to the point. We just have the point and we're fine. Yep. So that was actually really well played. You just waited for your team, went aggressive, sped past the thing, and fucked them up. You're third person looking at them. Don't let your shield get too low though. Like, you know they're here. Stop shielding now. Stop shielding now. Stop shielding now. Because they have shatter and you only have 800 shield. So this is a problem. Good attempt at a pin. It got bubbled, unfortunately. You did block the shatter though, so that's good. Good beat too. You got beat. Swing. Fire strike. Nice. Thun won that fight. You did good though. You're actually playing. When you guys are playing like a serious comp, you're playing really well, Eric. Like, this is really well played. You are holding corners, doing damage. Outside of that 1 second that you went too early, you're playing this well. Turn your shield around, turn your shield around, turn your shield around. Good. Nice. So again, that 1 second was the problem. And after that, you just played really, really well. And now we just go back. Yeah. Is there a reason y'all want to try weird comps? Because you're doing really good with normal comps. Is it just for the surprise factor? Okay, that's a bad shatter. Because they just use bubble. Let's just say that you can maybe get the Rhine to leave his shield. Maybe he was going for a fire strike or whatever. Even if you do that, if the Rhine takes a step, he can block it for this entire team. Just wait the bubble out. Just wait the bubble out. Because, yeah, there's a chance Rhine blocks it, and at that point it's a really high chance. But even if he doesn't block it, the bubble will. So just wait for the bubble to go out in that case. Pin the Rhine. That's actually a really good pin because he just gets killed. Nice. So you made a mistake, but you came back actually really strongly. You did damage. You played the corner. You pinned the Rhine in front of your team, and your team just killed him. So really well played. Again, you are making some mistakes, but when your mistakes are not that big, you are just winning fights. Like you're playing really well, and your mistakes are not major. Again, they have Shatter. Um, don't waste your shield. Make sure you have enough to block it. Because yeah, this is gonna happen. You're just gonna get shattered because you have no shield. The Rhine should shatter. Good kill, but this is a lost fight, right? They just shatter. Yeah. Shield match. Yeah, I keep saying this. Like I said this last time too. Don't take this much damage with your shield. I'm okay with you using it to third person peak, but you need to make sure you have a full shield. Like 1000 HP is where the point where you want to stop shielding and start saving it. Like right now, you should not be shielding anything. Just go back to your corner. And you stay here for a very long time. With the shield, your shield just breaks and you just die. That's a really good pin though. Like you actually killed the Baptiste, which could have won you the fight, but it's not going to. So again, it's like this. You're making one mistake every fight on this point, right? On the first one, we don't talk a lot about that. We don't talk a lot about it. On this one, you're making like one mistake every fight, and it's not too bad. Like depending on the mistake you make, you can recover from it and do really well, or not recover from it, and just you have less resources and you die. Like you went too fast and you had no resources and you die. The second one, I can't remember. Oh, you were shielding while waiting and you let your shield get hit while you didn't have to, but then you just went speed aggressive and killed everything, which is good. On this one, again, the shield thing. Then you had a failed shatter into a bubble, which again, definitely don't do it when they have a bubble. If you want to try to predict the Rhine, that's fine, but don't do it while they have bubble, because even if you predict the Rhine correctly and he drops his shield to fire strike or Sungu or whatever, the bubble's gonna block it. But you came back from that. So you're making like one mistake every fight, which you should not be making, but sometimes you recover and sometimes you do not. And I will say, it does kind of feel like you recover when you have the resources to recover. When your mistake is like, I've wasted some resources, you don't manage to recover because you don't have the resources to recover. You went too aggressive, you use a lot of resources, and you die for it. Right now, you just let your shield get a lot of damage, and you paid for it, right? So make sure you are saving enough resources for the fight. I would say would be the next thing we've got to work on. Because Brawl be Brawl especially is just a fight of resources, right? Whose shield breaks first, how much defense matrix you have, do we have support ultimates, or enough healing resource in the case of Moira, or immortality field in case of Baptiste. That kind of thing is very important. Bubbles in the case of Saria versus Tiva, right? Like this. Your team is not very much with you, but it's probably good enough. That's not that good. Like again, if you want to try to predict the Rhine, it's okay. Just don't go when he's also bubble. Really good beat, actually. Pinch the Hanyon. That's really well played. That's a one fight. And you could have survived, but I keep coming back to this. You keep making some mistakes. But so long as it doesn't cost you a lot of resources, you're actually fine with it. Like, yeah, you lose 200 health here when you go aggressive. Is that a lot of resources? No, it's actually only 200 health, which is considerably, right? 150, let's say. It's considerable, yes. Low 200. But you've got like full shield, your team has every cooldown, we pop coalescence. So even though you lost like 200 health, it's not something we can recover from. Coalescence has 140 healing per second. It's like 1 second of coalescence. So that's not a resource management mistake you can't recover from. This one is unfortunate. You try to predict Ryan again, he doesn't fall for it. And you do the bubble thing, but again, like, this is a mistake that's just like, hey, we have resources, we can come back from this. We also beat, right? We have support ultimates. You block the high noon even, and you do die because eventually you run out of resources, but it's just a one fight at that point. So I feel like I hate I hate when that happens. That's but like it is very telling that when you manage your resources correctly, not just the shield, but mostly the shield, but also like your support, how much healing your supports can do, how much health you have, your aggression with it, right? When you manage your resources correctly, you're just doing really good. You're just not caring, but you're just winning fights, and you won this map. When you are losing your resources, you are losing the fight, which makes sense. But it's a type of mistake you can. It's a lot harder to recover from because you don't have the mistake, the resources to recover from the mistake. By the way, Eric, is it just you right now? Is no one else from the team here? Shakes my head. Savage. I like that you did not fire strike right away. A lot of people will just fire strike this without knowing. Huck might be here, okay. Without knowing whether or not they will come this way. I like that you held the fire strike and fire strike that way because you hit someone by fire striking that way. You got to go shorty. Unfortunate. Sombra hacking behind you. You could have stopped that. You failed the pin on the monkey. Really good from Garza. But we lose this. Again, remember what that against the Ivy comps, your job is mostly to contest the tanks. You're not gonna have an easy time contesting their DPS. You missed the pin, which is unfortunate, but you can probably survive this. Yep. Just swing at the diva. Just you are getting healed. You are getting healed, but no one can do damage to this diva, and she's doing damage to you anyway. Just swing at the diva. You're wasting resources. Like, yeah, I know you went very low, right? But diva has no micro missiles, and the monkey's dead. Right? Once you are up to like a reasonable amount of health, like 100, you can just go at the diva. Like, just swing at the diva. Just swing at the diva. She's not even far away enough that you can block her damage. Just swing at the diva. I know you're low. Just swing at the diva though. She was so low too. She actually lost the mech anyway. Okay. Good fight overall. There were a couple mistakes, like pinning back to deal with the tracer on the high ground. And you missed the pin on the diva, and you did not swing on the diva. But again, like, those are minor mistakes, and they're not resource mistakes. Which, again, the resource mistakes are the ones that are making you lose the fight. Careful with the hack. Can flash your shield to stop the hack. Okay, you're just holding. You don't need to hold the shield there, but it's okay. Just play with cover. Yep. You can definitely stop this. So again, and I will say this over and over, they have already used EMP bomb. You should not rely on your shield if you can avoid it. This is a one fight. Oh yeah, this is just a one fight anyway. But hopefully you can see how a lot of the in a lot of the fights you're still making mistakes, but so long as you don't waste too many resources at the beginning, you're winning the fights. It's just swing at the diva or fire strike the diva. That's okay. Careful, dear. Oh, that's your high noon. I was so scared for a second. I'm actually okay with this aggressive play. Good fire strike. Like, yeah, I'm okay with that aggressive play. I forgot they did not have a high noon. Someone on the point. We can contest. Yep, that's fine. And I will say the easiest thing of playing a Vine Brawl against a Monkey Brawl is that you've got a lot more resources, right? You got a 1600 HP shield, and basically like everything is everything else equal. You just have a better shield and more damage, and that's it. You just have a better shield and more damage, and that's enough to win you most resources. They have more mobility, but in Brawl v Brawl, mobility is not as big an issue. Let's come back to the point. It's basically the last fight. Shatter. I would just shatter immediately. Don't even go for the fire strike. Just shatter them. I think you could have shattered them if you had not fire strike. Of course, you don't shatter them. You just don't shatter now. Wait for the bubble to break. Don't blind shatter though. I think you knew people were over there, but they just all went away because of the EMP. You actually just go like, wait, where did everyone go? Make sure you're looking where you are gonna shatter, right? If you're gonna shatter there, so you can see there's no one. You just stop and go like, wait, fuck. And then turn around. We're actually gonna lose this fight, huh? You need to win doing beat. Just unlucky when it comes to shatters. He hit a couple of really good shatters. But he did miss a lot of them. At this point, just reset. Honestly, just don't commit ultimates. And reset, because we are 99 to 0. Mega Base is the best one. I think... Did you hit any shatters on Mega Base? I think at least 2 of your shatters went into a bubbled vine. Right? Are we gonna win this fight? No, it was definitely 2. One when they were at the choke, and one when you got grabbed. Oh, you hit one format. Okay, okay. Yeah, you hit 1 out of 3 shatters, 2 shatters. So it wasn't terrible, but could have been better. I don't think we should win this, by the way. This fight was definitely lost. It may still actually still be lost, but we are committing to it. I think Carson just clicked 2 heads, and we were like, maybe we can win. But we should just hard reset. We just gave him 30% ultimate charge for free. But we are ready to ultimates anyway. Move to the corner. This is fine. Good shatter. This is a 1 fight, pretty much. Is your team following up though? Your team is not ready. I'm surprised your team is not ready. Because you took the long way around. They just stood at the choke though. I guess they were waiting for... Yeah. We even pop Colossus. Still a winnable fight. Just gotta kill the Lucia? Okay. Worth it. Missed the pin, but definitely worth it. Yeah, again, decent shatter. Your team wasn't perfectly ready to follow up, but they were close enough that we were able to capitalize. Yeah, I just hard shield the visor. We were fine. We just won this, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, overall, I think you did pretty good. You need to match your resources better. Resource. Just pay attention to my team. Not so much pay attention to your team. Like, even that shatter was okay. It wasn't great. Your team wasn't perfectly. Like, Karsu was all the way back here. But it was good enough. Honestly, you got 2 people and confirmed the kill in 1. But yeah, the big thing is demanding less resources. It's not so much about being over aggressive either. Like if I go back, no, this is still too far forward. When you're holding on Mega Base, it's not that you went over aggressive. Like you were fine, but then you backed off and stood in the choke for like 3 seconds, holding the shield, and it costed you like 800 shield health, right? So it's not so much being over aggressive. You can be aggressive. You just have to make sure you have enough resources. So mostly just don't waste resources. We can phrase it like this: do not take poke damage, any poke damage, when your shield is under 1,000. Shield is under 1,000 HP, right? We can be a little generous if you're like at like 969 or something and you stop. That's fine. But I think this is a very achievable goal. Just stop taking poke damage when your shield is under 1,000 and when your health is under 300. Let's just say 400 HP. I feel like those are very achievable goals because I'm talking mostly about poke damage, right? Damage before the fight actually happens with both teams in the ready. If you waste resources before the fight, like it happens, I think it's actually right this one. If you waste your resources before the fight, then you're just not gonna have them for the fight. Um, and you've managed to come back from some mistakes and some fights that seem lost because you had enough resources. But you've lost, like, I think every fight you lost from this point, you lost because we just overcommitted resources very early in the fight or before the fight. So I think this is a very achievable goal with Fine. Just stop taking poke damage when your shield is under 1,000 or your health is under 400. Or let's do 350 because armor. Let's do 350. I think that's very achievable. Rad is not around this week, but I think this is very good. Do you agree? Do you think this is good? Do you want a little more lenience? That's good. There you go then. You can screenshot it. I will type it later if you want to as well, probably. But you can screenshot it if you want, just to make it easier to keep around. I'm trying to make it more readable. Uh, okay. Or we can just get it from the bot. But yeah, let's go with that. I'll take a 3 minute break and then I'll be back with hackshots. Okay, we're back.